Hello, hi Taurians, welcome to your February love horoscope, love reading for this month. Sorry, I'm a bit thrown off a little bit before I've even started your reading because they were showing me some stuff that I was like, how do I interpret that? Because it's a bit interesting, but we're going to get to that in a minute. So, just a little bit of a service announcement. There are a few people that have booked me, great, and if you want to, the links are just down below. However, please make sure you check your junk mail or remove any email blockers. Particularly if you have a Yahoo or Gmail account, because some people have booked me and for the life and death of me, I can't get hold of you. Something is wrong with the email addresses, or completely wrong, wrong lettering, bouncing back, or I'm just, for some reason, it's just not getting through. If that's you and you're wondering where the hell am I have been trying. You can contact me, different email address if you're going to do that, or Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. There's so many ways, other ways that you can connect with me. Or if you did get your initial email to connect with me on Skype, please do that as soon as possible. So if that's not you, then ignore that. But I need to tell everybody, and if you're doing that and you do book me and you're thinking, where is she? Trust me, I always contact people normally the same day. Yeah, definitely within 72 hours, but normally the same day. Okay, if you haven't heard from me, there is something wrong with the email. Okay, and you need to try something different. So let's get on to you and your reading, because it is interesting, because this feels like I can interpret this different ways. Sorry if there's background noise. I have a dog that snores. I have neighbours that are noisy. Sometimes there's planes that go by, but we're going to do our best. It's interesting because this month is about manifestation. 222 month, 2nd of February, 22nd of February. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful month. But something does seem to be bothering your mind. And I'm finding it hard, and because it's general, maybe it's both ways, so I'm going to give you both scenarios, because I get the first way is that in your head, you're having your higher self, your own intrusive thoughts, but they're not intrusive thoughts, they feel very much like your higher self, constantly telling you that somebody else's energy around you is just not good for you, that you shouldn't be with that person, that you shouldn't want them back, or you shouldn't be with the current person that you're with, or the person that you're dating. They're just not matching up to what you want, and it's niggling you, making you... it's not improving, and it's making you feel quite defensive, a bit moody, and a bit untrustworthy. And they're basically saying follow your instincts, because it's going to make you want to move away from that situation. Because remember, this month is about very, very much about transformation and change as a result of so that's my dogs, about transformation, very, very much about you recognizing what you don't want. So there's a whole heavy amount of like your thought forms, particularly in the beginning of this month, that's really pushing on you in a way that's constantly telling you that the situation isn't right and what you're going to do about it in order for transformation to happen. Now, the other way that I can interpret this, which might apply for other people, is actually it's not you that's telling yourself this. You've got other people saying to you, this person's done this, this person said that, this person is this person is that, and it confusing you because you don't want the end to the connection. You don't even know whether you can believe it or to be true, but it feels like there is some truth to it, and particularly if it's coming from more than one person. And whatever they're telling you does make you feel defensive and feels like you should rightfully be moving away, but there's this very like disconnect between I can feel that, or I'm being told that, and I don't want to, but it feels like I have to, kind of energy. So an example would be your friend says to you, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the person you're seeing also tried to chat me up or matched with me on Tinder, and I need to tell you that they're still looking and they've been talking to me. And you might initially think, well, you guys must be jealous, you just want me to break up. But there's part of you that's just like, well, considering how unavailable this person is and I haven't got the commitment, kind of makes sense. Do you see what I mean? Or, again, you've had more than one person tell you, so your friend Tracy tells you, then your friend Brian tells you the same story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? My guides are saying, basically, there's some of you that will, and it is going to be for your highest good if you do that, so they're saying some of you, not all of you, some of you may have already switched off from this video because you're like, oh, I'm not walking away from that person. And then you won't. But the messaging will still remain until you do, because there's something about the person that you want or the encounters that you're coming across that aren't satisfying to you, because actually the inner work needs to be done quite a lot in this month. We're in the shadow period of the Venus retrograde. It will throw up in our thought forms things that we finally need to conclude with, Definitely in a much more positive way. And because this is positive manifestation months, it's almost using you to transform about what you don't want, to end the cycles, to really invest your energy, your emotions and your visualizations and your feelings into what you do want. And that will involve moving away from those who the constant thing you're hearing from either yourself or from other people is that they are no good for you. You know, the universe is always telling us all the time, even the things we don't want to hear. And this month they're saying, listen to it, basically. So what I'm kind of getting is that a lot of you will listen to that and you will move away from that. So then what next? There's a real element of them finding yourself, making your cosmic order. So some of you who are deeply spiritual will be putting in your list of what you do and don't want, but make that be specific, because careful what you wish for, the good and the bad and the ugly, including what you don't want, because that's important. I feel like it's important to tell this a small slice of people that for those of you who did walk away, let's say you're in a long-term connection and you walked away because it finally wasn't good, anything that's legal or anything that's to do with something karma related does seem to go in your favour out of it. So if you're worried that it's going to backfire on you, it will not at all. So for those of you who might be leaving and you've got kids and you think, oh, it's going to work out really bad, or I won't have financial support, or if the divorce will end up badly, no, it won't. They just want to point that out, because they don't want any limitations or barriers for you not. Because I understand it can be confusing enough and there's a little bit of resistance on your side already, that actually they don't want to collude with what keeps you there. They're basically saying, no, it won't. You'll be fine. So there's the message there. Then what happens is they're saying here, and I'm not going to say you're all going to jump into new relationships because that's not indicated. It's more about you ending the cycles this month. This very, very much feels about you then being able to start the path of really, 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 really finding yourself and vibrationally being aligned to this new version of yourself that then can only be matched with somebody better for you. It's the start of that process this month. So what I want to do for you is to see a sneak peek into the long term of this year about, well, who and where does that lead me to? If I'm going to let go of this connection and allow what I'm thinking or my friends, what they're telling me to kind of end that, does that lead to the balance? Does that lead to something better? Well, firstly, I can tell you straight away, it will lead to definitely self-love, which I know sounds a bit woo, but it changes so much about the vibration of everything, because what we believe about ourselves, we get a mirror of that. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. But does it lead you to the connection that you deserve, that brings ultimate balance in your life, ultimate commitment in your life? Does it lead that way? And does it lead that way in this year? Let's have a look at that. And I hope that it helps, and I hope to see you there in extended. The link is just down below.